Lorri saw her daughter as a popular, happy teenager, but Taryn saw herself as a fat, ugly loser. Those two worlds collided the day Lorri walked in on her daughter, trying to make herself vomit in the bathroom. And months later, when Taryn returned from her first treatment for bulimia, they each shared this.
I was both thrilled and petrified that Taryn was coming home from the treatment center. Would she be better? Would we finally be able to get back to normal? Our whole family's hopes and happiness were hanging in the balance.
By the time my plane had landed, I had already purged 3 times. Finally home from rehab, I stood in my kitchen drinking a glass of juice to prove to my parents that I was totally back to normal. I gagged as I forced down the sugary fluid. I smiled to make them feel safe.
And Lorri and Taryn share their journey through bulimia from their two perspectives in their new book, Distorted, How a Mother and Daughter Unraveled the Truth, the Lies, and the Realities of an Eating Disorder. Lorri and Taryn, welcome to both of you.
Thank you so much.
I love how you guys did this book because you really do, we see it through your eyes and through Taryn's eyes, but it turns out that the exact same experience can be seen like in two completely opposite ways.
The exact same experience is two totally different stories.
Were you surprised at how different you guys saw the exact same illness?
Well, the illness is so manipulative. Mm-hmm. There's so much deceit that you listen to what she says and you think that's what's going on. And as you see when you read Taryn's part, the total opposite. She put on a facade that she thought we'd want to see.
And Taryn, did you read any of your mom's stuff in the book before, or how did it work? Were these two completely separate writings?
Well, when we were writing them, we definitely looked at each other's parts and we saw them both together, and it was very interesting to see how it could be totally, completely different at the same time.
Lorri, you saw your daughter, beautiful, smart, top of her class, popular, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, you told her she was gorgeous all the time. What was it, do you think, that made her turn to bulimia?
Well, she had, as it turns out, you know, a lot of people ask me, well, how do you know they're not just a picky eater? And it turns out that inside, if you look at some personality characteristics like being very, very sensitive, being a perfectionist, I didn't know she had low self-esteem. I thought she was a typical teenager. But it turned out that self-esteem was rock bottom.
Taryn, how did you see yourself? Because I looked at those pictures, even in the clips and stuff. You're this really cute high school kid. How did you view yourself in here in your head?
Well, not like that. I definitely, I mean, you see myself as overweight. I saw ugly, and just, I think the feelings that I felt about myself as far as not liking my personality and not liking myself kind of was reflected in the way that I saw my body.
And it didn't matter what I said. If I said, honey, you know, why do you feel this way? It didn't matter. I was her mom.
Well, some of the stuff in the book is pretty shocking when it talks about the amount of food you ate and that you purged 6 to 7 times a day, groceries, Splenda packets. I mean, and also just searching for pro-eating disorder websites to figure out how to sort of con people away from believing there was something wrong. What were you getting out of the binging and the purging?
Well, I did have periods of both anorexia and bulimia, and in the anorexia really helped give me a pride almost that I was in control so much of my own weight. The bulimia helped relieve a lot of anxiety that I had, I think, and I could really focus all my anxiety on the binge, and then in turn it would be relieved when I purged.
You turned the corner. And you took a couple of stints to sort of get out of it. How are you feeling today?
Today, I'm good. I mean, it is possible to recover, and I think that's an important message for people out there. And it really was accepting the process was a huge thing in helping my recovery and not getting discouraged and realizing that for every step forward, you know, there will be drawbacks.
And that's important for the family to remember that it's you can do anything. We did everything humanly possible, but it wasn't until she decided to recover. And we ourselves suffered, the family suffered, and that's why we wrote this, because there was nothing out there for the family.
I have to tell you, this book, I mean, I was paging through it. It's written very well. It's great from two perspectives, and it's a terrific read. So I think you two are going to teach a lot of people a lot of lessons.
Well, if we can just give them some reassurances, that would be awesome.
Lorri and Taryn, thank you so much for being on the program. We really appreciate it.